Hello everyone! First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present today. My name is Miftah Rajma and I'm from the XM class. My student number is 202574791118. Before I begin, I would like to ask you a simple question. Have you ever realized that sometimes we learn more English from scrolling on social media than from opening our textbooks? Today, platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and X are not only used for entertainment, but they have also become part of how students communicate, learn, and improve their English skills. That is why today I would like to present a topic entitled Scrolling into Fluency: How Social Media Shapes Students' English Skills. Nowadays, social media has become a part of students' daily lives. Many students spend hours every day scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or X without realizing how much English they are exposed to. Interestingly, students today do not only learn English from classrooms or textbooks anymore, they also learn through videos, podcasts, song lyrics, memes, and online conversations on social media. Because of this, social media is gradually changing the way students learn English in the modern era. Social media nowadays actually has a big influence on how students learn English. If we look at it, most teenagers spend quite a lot of time on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram. And during that time, they are constantly exposed to English through videos, captions, music, or even just short interactions online. And what's interesting is a lot of students actually pick up English from there, like expressions, slang, or even pronunciation without really learning it formally in class. It's not like they sit down and study it, but more like they absorb it naturally while scrolling or watching content. And I think that's the key point here. Learning English today doesn't only happen in the classroom anymore. It's already part of their daily digital life. One thing that really makes social media different from traditional learning is the exposure. Today, students are exposed to English almost every day without even realizing it. According to Data Report 2024, internet users in Indonesia spend around 7 hours per day online, and most of that time is on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And honestly, it changes a lot. Many students end up remembering English phrases from social media more easily than from textbooks. Expressions like "you've got this" or "at the end of the day" become familiar just because they hear them repeatedly online, and it doesn't stop there. Some students also learn from podcasts, TED talks, or international content. So they are not only learning language, but also how ideas and opinions are expressed. So social media doesn't just influence how students learn English, but also how they think, communicate, and learn in general. When we talk about digital learning, most of us usually see it as something very positive. It feels fast, flexible, and everything is just one click away. But there's also another side that we don't always notice. There's a quote that says, "Technology is a useful servant but a dangerous master." I think this really fits with today's learning situation. I still remember during online learning, everything felt really easy. You just open your phone or laptop and all the materials are there. But at the same time, it also becomes very, very easy to get distracted. Like you plan to study for a bit, but then you switch to social media and suddenly time just passes without realizing it. And I think a lot of us have experienced that. Even personally, sometimes I open my device just to study, but notifications or social media make it hard to stay focused. It's like the line between learning and entertainment becomes very thin. And another thing is, even though we are connected online, the interaction sometimes feels different compared to face learning in class. So, from my point of view, digital learning is not something bad. It really helps us, but it needs awareness and balance. So it doesn't end up controlling how we learn. So, if we look at social media, it's not just about people using language anymore. It's actually more about how language is being shaped by what the platform shows us because everything is controlled by algorithms. And what usually appears is short, informal, and a very expressive English. Over time, this kind of exposure makes informal language feel normal, so students don't really see it as informal anymore. It just becomes their default way of communicating. And I think that's where this shift happens, especially in how they understand what natural English is. From a teaching perspective, we also need to adjust how we see social media. Instead of avoiding it, we can actually use it as part of learning. For example, TikTok or Instagram content can be used in class, not just for entertainment, but to analyze how language is used in a very informal context. Then students can try to rewrite or express it in a more academic way. Even podcasts, yeah, can help too because they give more natural but structured English input. So the idea is not to separate students from social media, but to guide them to use it more consciously for learning. Yeah, if we wrap it up, what we are really seeing is a shift in how language learning happens today. Social media is no longer outside learning, it's already part of students' learning environment. English is everywhere in videos, captions, podcasts, and daily online interactions. But the key point is not just exposure, it's awareness. How students process what they get. And the real challenge for education is not separating students from social media, but helping them become more conscious in how they learn from it. It's not really about the technology anymore. It's about how learning is changing around us without us fully realizing it. Because English today is already everywhere, right? In the things we watch, scroll, and hear every day. Thank you.